All this week, we've been meeting famous faces and hearing their own personal stories on the subject of parenthood. But for today's guest, having a baby seemed like a dream that would never come true. After meeting on the dance floor, James and Ola Jordan fell in love, got married and tried for 3 years to conceive a child naturally. After going through IVF, they're now expecting their first baby. And here to tell us all about it is James and Ola.
You're on the other side.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, you're on the other side. Yeah. I'm fat as well, sorry.
It's a sympathy belly.
It is.
Hasn't it?
I just watched you suck that back in.
But you can lose it together as well, can't you, afterwards? You can both go back to the gym together
Exactly.
and lose... What are you looking at me?
No, I'm just saying, I've
He's
put on
telling
quite
me
a few
you-
pounds since dancing on ice. I went down to 78 kilos, which I don't know.
Yeah, what is that?
What does that mean?
Old
We're all
money.
imperial
12
girls here.
stone, maybe.
Wow.
Now I'm about 15.
Oh, you're not.
She keeps wanting donuts, and I eat all the donuts.
Well, they donuts are for me, not for you.
Well, take us back to the well, actually not the very beginning. We don't need to know that.
I love the fact.
Actually, you were quoted as saying that obviously when you were trying, and you were trying naturally for 3 years to
Yeah.
conceive, and then obviously you started on the IVF journey, that part of that meant you couldn't have sex.
I know,
Doesn't
it's
that
strange, isn't
mean
it?
that
You
it's
get
not
pregnant
it's
without
never going to
having
work unless you...
Yeah, he didn't even do anything.
Might have had to have done something.
We've been obviously together for a long time, so we tried
Yeah.
for 18 years not to have children.
Yeah.
Because we wanted strictly and had this career, dancing and everything. And then when we decided to have children, it didn't really quite happen. So it was quite heartbreaking.
And so
that
common,
maybe
so
it's
many
not-
people will understand.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, we always wanted to have children when we met. We always talked about it, but then when it happened that we tried, it wasn't happening.
And it's
So-
funny, isn't it? Because people do think... we would look at you two and think, oh, my God, you're optimum fitness, you know,
That's
still
right,
quite
you're
young.
fit,
Yeah.
What's
And you just
wrong?
go, OK, I'm ready to have a baby
Yeah.
now, but then, you
And it
know,
doesn't
your body
happen.
has other
Yeah.
ideas.
But when we went to see the IVF specialist, he actually said it's like you can go and buy the most expensive car in the world. He said if you put it in the garage for 18 years and then go back and expect it to start first time, it's not going to work first time. And he said the body's...
I'm the old car, basically.
The body...
I was trying to work out which body was in the garage.
He said the body is like that. That sometimes, like the car might need a new battery, and the body needs some
good,
tuning
nice.
and everything. And
That's a hell of an analogy.
I know it's very good, but like my friends, one of my friends went through IVF for their first child, and then because they were told they wouldn't ever be able to have children naturally, and then 4 months later, after giving birth, they got pregnant naturally.
Yeah.
So that does happen
That
as well.
happened to me. I had to have treatment for my first, so I absolutely understand what you're talking about. And then I fell pregnant naturally with the second one, so be really careful.
What's the treatment like? Is it difficult?
Yeah.
It is really hard. I mean, you get injections, so your ovaries are massive.
Do you give yourself
Yeah,
the
you
injection?
inject yourself every evening, like 1 or 2 injections, independing what you need and how your ovaries react to it. So you're swollen even before you get pregnant. So we had journalists going, she hasn't been drinking on the party and she's really swollen on the belly. Is she pregnant?
She's pregnant.
Well,
And
no,
we're like, no,
actually,
she's
she's
not.
going through fertility treatment because I was already quite swollen on my belly. So
How did
that's
you
quite
feel?
hard.
That's how it looked, but how did it make you feel?
It is really hard. I think mentally more than physically. I mean, the injections didn't bother me, but the whole waiting game of fertility.
You're waiting for
because
everything
you're
to find out how many eggs
there
there are.
they retrieve, how many they get fertilized.
How many survived, how many are good enough, and then the sperm
And then you wait
goes
for this
in.
phone call in the morning and they might tell you,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that get their phone call and go, well, there's no
Statistically,
embryos.
you're quite lucky with the IVF,
We have been
haven't you?
so
Very lucky, first go.
Tell us about when you were told or when you discovered that
I
you were
did the
pregnant.
test. I was naughty because they tell you to do a test 12 days after they put the embryo in, and I was sitting at home thinking, no, there's something there. I mean, I can feel different. So I did a test. He was on a golf course, and I was like, wow, I cried. Of course he was, yes, he always is. I cried. I was, over them.
course.
But the thing is, with IVF, because we couldn't get pregnant for a long time, you don't believe it, and you're like, oh, is it okay? Is it normal?
So did you ring him or did you wait for him to come home?
I waited
Yeah,
for him
she
to
waited
come
for
home
you
and
to
I
get
gave him
home.
the test because I couldn't actually tell him.
And I said, is that clean?
Because I was crying.
I didn't. I'm joking.
Because I couldn't say it. I was so upset. You know, I was so happy.
Yeah, she just went...
Did you end up doing lots of tests to find out?
She did.
I did about 4.
I
did
did loads.
so
Because
many.
then, obviously, you want to make sure that it grows and the wigs go up. And
Did you have early scans?
Early scan to make sure
Yeah.
it's put in the,
And how
it's
did
in the
you
right
feel?
place. Amazing. I
look,
felt
there's
amazing.
your baby.
Look, I know, it's amazing. No, it's a very special thing, but I didn't at the beginning, I didn't want to get too excited because I know that lots of things can still happen. You hear of lots of people having miscarriages and things like that. So I was trying to be realistic and, I don't know, I didn't want to get too disappointed. I'm like that in life in general. I'm always quite...
Did you feel almost you had to be stronger and hold back a bit for Ola because...
Yeah, I would say for Ola and myself, because I even said
it's
to you...
hard for me, but it's also hard for him. For the men going through it as well. You always talk about the woman going through fertility, but it's the men that you know, they want a baby as well.
Yeah, it's not quite as bad. I mean,
No,
watching you
it's
the
not,
first
but-
14 weeks, she was throwing up every single day. And
Fun!
men could not go through that. That's a fact. I know I can't.
And I bet
no
you never
way.
complained once.
No, she hasn't.
No.
Genuinely, she hasn't. You haven't really,
I
apart from
would
when we
love
was out in the
him.
car and
I was
it all went
throwing
down
up.
the side of my
So it's
car.
worth it.
Has it changed how you view Ola? Because, you know, you've been together for so long. Obviously, you work in this terribly glamorous, on the outside, industry. And, you know, you're an incredibly strong woman. But to see your wife going through something like this and now growing your baby, what do you feel now when you look at Ola?
Oh, he's very protective. He was always
been very
protective.
protective. We've been with each other, what, 20 years
20
now?
years, yeah. But
so-
he's even more now, yeah.
Yeah,
He's,
just-
don't touch that, don't lift that. No, I'm
Because
okay.
I've heard it from my friends before when they say, oh, when you watch your loved one go through pregnancy, you have a much bigger respect for them. Didn't really mean anything to me because I hadn't experienced it myself, but seeing what she's been through does make me realise how strong women are. They're absolutely, yeah, it's brilliant.
You know what I think we ought to do with James? I think we ought to hook him up to that contraction machine that we did to bring him on. That would be so...
I'm a baby.
In the thing leading up to the IVF, because you say you've both been together a long time and you were trying for 3 years, did you find lots of people were a little bit... Because people can ask, can't they, insensitively without realising.
Correct.
Yes.
When are you going to have children?
It doesn't come from a bad place.
No.
Like, even with your parents, my parents, friends...
Everyone asked.
Every interview we did at one point, we were being asked, when are you going to have children? And it was quite upsetting when you know you're actively trying to get pregnant and you're not. And that's actually why, in the end, we did the IVF story saying that we can't get pregnant. We're going to...
And the question stopped.
Then no one asked.
Right,
our family, our friends, everyone gave us that respect that they didn't ask.
Right.
So you know, it's kind of... A lot of people don't speak out that they're going through IVF or struggling to have children. But I think it helped us by speaking out.
What would you say to anyone that's watching now and is having maybe fertility problems?
I mean, obviously, we were one of the lucky ones because lots of people have been in contact with us through social media, emails and things, saying congratulations, but at the same time, their struggles that maybe they weren't ever able to have children. And it's so sad. You know, some people go through this 10 times. We went through it once, which was quite difficult, but some people go through it like 10 times and it never works. But I would just say keep trying because, I mean, we're over the moon. Don't give up. I mean, but yeah, it's tough.
I wish you all the best. I really do. What are you... Ola, you're 14 weeks now.
I'm 16.
16 weeks. Oh, my goodness.
I'm really
Let's just
big.
hope it gets my look.
I'm wobbling around and everything.
Hello, I'm that size.
That's only because you're a dancer. It must be very strange.
I am. I've started to walk like this. Your legs apart. It's big.
You look beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank
Her
you
bottom
very
looks
much.
pregnant as well.
Stop it. No, you're going to have to stop saying things like that. You are.